on an expedition to the rainforest in search of elusive exotic quarry. I joined the museum's staff in September 1974 and spent my days building specimen cabinets and carting titanic dinosaur bones from one corner of the building to another. A few days after I started, a coworker suggested that I enter night school to amass a few college credits while I worked. There was one course, he said, that I would spend the rest of my life regretting if I didn't immediately enroll. It was taught by a most extraordinary character, a Boston Brahmin who had gone to the Amazon in 1941 to collect a few plants and didn't return to Harvard for more than a decade. Professor Schultes imbued his students with a sense of the value, beauty, and fragility of the rainforest ecosystem and the indigenous peoples who are so much a part of it. A leading authority on Amazonian botany, medicinal plants, coca and cocaine, hallucinogens, Mexican mushroom cults, natural rubber, palms, orchids, and arrow poisons, he's often called the father of ethnobotany. During his years in the remote northwest Amazon, Schultes found close to 2,000 plant species that the Indians used for medicinal purposes. He was convinced that thousands more awaited discovery. He returned from the jungle determined to inspire a new generation of ethnobotanists, to usher them through the emerald door into lives devoted to the study of rainforest plants and peoples. Even though rainforests occur in 3 major regions, Schultes encouraged his students to focus on the Amazon. Usually associated with Brazil, the Amazon's leafy tendrils reach into 8 other South American countries, covering an area almost as large as the continental United States. Amazonia is home to the world's largest eagle, snake, anteater, armadillo, spider, freshwater turtle, and freshwater fish. Plant life in the Amazon is also unimaginably diverse. One of every 4 plants on Earth grows there, and many of these species remain unseen and unstudied by Western eyes. When ingested by humans, these plants may act in a variety of ways on the body. They may be nutritious, poisonous, or even hallucinogenic, and in some cases, they are therapeutic. Many of the human body's powerful reactions are a direct response to plant alkaloids, a class of chemical compounds most common in tropical plants. Quinine, an alkaloid from the bark of the cinchona tree, was first discovered thousands of years ago by South American Indians. Since then, it has been widely used to cure malaria. Malaria has been and continues to be responsible for more deaths than any other disease in the world. Yet a single plant alkaloid taught to us by South American Indians has helped eradicate malaria in the temperate zones and reduce the prevalence of the disease in the lowland tropics. There exists no shortage of wonder drugs waiting to be found in the rainforests, yet we in the industrialized world are woefully ignorant about the chemical and therefore medicinal potential of most tropical plants. In fact, only about 5,000 of the world's 250,000 species have been extensively screened in the laboratory to determine their therapeutic potential. A quarter of all prescription drugs sold in the United States have plant chemicals as active ingredients. About half of those drugs contain chemicals from tropical species. Of all the therapeutic compounds brought from the world's living pharmacy into our modern drugstores, for uses as varied as contraceptives to cancer treatments, few, if any, were truly discovered by university-trained botanists. These plants were discovered by botanists, much as America was discovered by Columbus. In both cases, the Indians got there first. A good example is Taxol, the drug approved in December 1992 for treatment of advanced ovarian cancer. An alkaloid found in the bark and needles of the Pacific yew tree in the American Northwest, Taxol selectively interferes with the division of cancer cells. Taxol was discovered through a screening program operated by the National Cancer Institute, which since 1960 had been randomly collecting plants and testing them for therapeutic effectiveness. Yet early ethnographic accounts unearthed by Dr. Jim Duke, an ethnobotanist with the USDA, show that Indians had long used the yew tree for a variety of medicinal purposes. This is not to minimize NCI's impressive efforts and its success in quickly bringing Taxol to market. Since 1968, when the screening program was refined to focus specifically on cancer and later on AIDS,